Ninh explains the rules of NASCAR racing. The object of the race is to be the first to cross the finish line after completing a number of laps around the track. NASCAR racing, also known as stock car racing, is the most popular form of auto racing in the United States and is contested in a number of races throughout the calendar year. Drivers will drive a specially modified version of a normal passenger car, which are designed to go around the track in as fast a time as possible. To determine their starting position in the race, each driver will complete laps of the track on their own. The fastest driver will start on the grid in the first position, the second fastest in the second position, etc., until all the drivers are assigned a position to start the race. This is known as qualifying. Once qualifying has determined the starting order, the actual race is usually held on a separate day. Drivers will warm up their cars by following the pace car in the position that they will start. Once the green flag is waved, the race begins and is segmented into 3 stages. Stage 1 is roughly 25% of the overall number of laps in a race. The driver who crosses the line first at the end of Stage 1 is awarded 10 regular season points and a playoff point. The second driver is awarded 9 regular season points, all the way down to 1 point for 10th place. The race carries on into Stage 2, which is exactly the same as Stage 1. 10 points for winning the stage, plus 1 playoff point, 9 points for second place, etc. Stage 3 is a compacted, traditional race and is roughly 50% of the total laps. Winning this final stage wins you the overall race, which is worth 40 regular season points, with second place getting 35 points, third place getting 34 points, etc. Winning the race automatically guarantees you a place in the playoffs, and also adds 5 playoff points to your total score. So what is the playoffs? The playoffs, previously known as the chase, is used to determine who the overall champion is. After the first 26 races, all the regular season points are added up, and the top 10 get additional playoff points added to their playoff score. It's these playoff points that are added up, and all the race winners plus the next 4 highest scoring drivers qualify for the playoffs. This is an elimination style format, where 16 cars contest the next 3 races for points. The top 12, including race winners, are through to the next round. The bottom 4 are eliminated. 12 becomes 8, 8 becomes 4. Only 4 cars are left at the final race of the season at Homestead, Miami. The driver who finishes the highest in the final race of the season is declared the NASCAR champion. It used to be a lot simpler. Prior to 2004, NASCAR used to follow the Formula 1 style of points. The driver with the most points after the last race of the season was declared the champion. So much easier to explain. If you manage to understand the somewhat confusing format, that's great, but there's a few other things that you'll need to know before going to or watching a race. For example, track. Each NASCAR track may look exactly the same, but all of them vary in terms of distance, terrain, track angle, and difficulty. This means that teams and drivers have to prepare and set up their cars differently for every single race. Restrictor Plates. Some tracks are so fast that to race on them with full power cars is actually quite dangerous. To lower the power of the cars, a restrictor plate is placed between the carburetor and the engine of the car to reduce the amount of power that cars produce. This is so that drivers can drive safer, albeit slower, than normal. These are known as restrictor plates or plate races. Drafting. Unlike Formula 1, where cars are quite a distance away from each other, in NASCAR, cars follow each other extremely closely. But why? Due to aerodynamics and the forces of drag, cars will stay close together to share the drag, and 2 cars together can drive faster than 1 car alone. This results of chains of cars staying together. They are forming a temporary truce to help each other to drive faster, but eventually, all of them are going to try and break away to try and cross the finish line first. Loose and tight. You'll sometimes hear drivers use the terms loose and tight. This is where drag and aerodynamics adversely affects the car. Loose refers to when the back of the car wants to turn into the outer wall, causing the car to oversteer into the inside of the track. Tight is where the front of the car wants to turn to the outer wall, causing the car to understeer into the outside wall of the track. Pit stop. Cars are allowed to go back to their own team's garage, or pit, to change their tyres or refuel. This is known as a pit stop, and a crew of 6 people are so fast at changing 4 tyres and adding fuel that this can be done in around 12 seconds. However, this adds time to the race and could cost you valuable positions in the final standings. Flags. During a race, marshals will use flags to indicate things to drivers. I'm not going to cover every single flag, but the most common are a green flag. This is used to start or restart a race. A green and white checkered flag is used to signal the end of stage 1 or stage 2. A yellow flag, also known as a caution flag, is where all drivers must reduce in speed and cannot overtake. The black and white checkered flag is the famous flag that denotes the end of the race. I could talk more about engines, tyres, the overtime line, side drafting, etc., but the points I've talked about are the most salient ones for a beginner to understand. Check out my Daytona 500 video on my other channel to see what it's like to experience an actual NASCAR race. But if you have found this video at all helpful, please be sure to like, share and subscribe. It takes me ages to make one of these things, and good karma is very much appreciated. Be sure to follow me on Twitter also, but in the meantime, enjoy NASCAR racing.